What's up, angels? Season of Mist just sent us the biggest dang refrigerator. The biggest refrigerator I've ever seen. This is a huge box. Season of Mist coming in with the hookup, so we're going to go over the quality of Season of Mist. He sent us a bunch of Season of Mist brand shirts between the roster. We got a nice little letter telling you to wash clothes. If you don't know how to wash clothes, I don't know how to help you. Pretty much says wash on cold. I've never had anything from Season of Mist, so we're going to actually just see the quality that Season of Mist brings here. We're going to go over what this surprise bundle box is. Just hoping that there's no, like, industrial Morbid Angel albums, whatever that one was. What was that, like, Elude the Venom something? Right off the bat, we have, check that out, Miscreants. Dude, me and my guitarist from Impure Conception have been, like, goo-goo gagaing over this band. Dude, this band sounds straight out of 1991, some sick killer, I think, Italy, maybe, if I'm not mistaken, like, something, like, crazy. Like, really cool, like, it sounds straight out of 1991, like, some Pestilence era, like, death thrash. Like, just super, super cool. The album artwork, so this is coming out in August, this album, but look at them colors, man. Reminds me of, like, Erythrosi. But, yeah, this band and, like, The Scepter are, like, two of, like, my favorite, our favorite, like, death thrash things. Like, it's just so good and like, when people say, like, 90s death metal, like, this is what I want to hear more of, like, this band. Print quality, just, like, that kind of, like, the ear rate, kind of, like, that, like, on-demand print feel, kind of. Doesn't feel like it's going to just, like, rip away with it, but cool nevertheless. So we'll see how it goes when I wash it. Defile the large. So this is a large. The larges feel like extra large. Like I would probably like size down maybe. Like it just feels large. I don't know if that's because I haven't washed it. But defiled. Japanese death metal got some very nice long sleeve with the defiled. So we have that. I did review this. Probably one of my favorite things from Defiled. Very like Ripping Corpse, Human Remains-esque with Defiled. So we have this cool long sleeve. No back print. I don't like back prints. You know, I'm pretty like conservative with like how I dress. Like I like a lot of like logos. So like, I don't wear like Lividity shirts with like crazy like gore, broken hope stuff like Waco Jesus on like the back of like my shirt when I go to like Chili's. Like I'm not one to do that. Oh, I see Sweatpants. We got Sweatpants here. So I can already see this is Defeated Sanity. Look at that. Now this is good print. We got the yellow Defeated Sanity large. Very nice. So there we go. I'm wearing some Afterbirth shorts. But yeah, so Sweatpants, very nice. Look at that. That's how I'm going to be posted up at the Impure Conception show on August 2nd at Dingbats in New Jersey. I'm going to be wearing this. Chronicles. I was a big fan of Chronicles. I also really loved, like, the split that they did. That's probably my favorite Defeated Sanity. This is up there. Like, this Chronicles, Season of Mist, definitely up there. That was a good one. Next, we have the Brodequin long sleeve. This is Festival of Death. Very cool. So, Festival of Death, probably, like, one of my favorites. Look at that. Look at the quality. Look at the Brodequin. You know, a lot of people forget that, like, Brodequin's on Season of Mist. Like, they actually have, like, a really cool, like, brutal death metal roster. I did have Brodequin talk, or not Brodequin talk. I did do a brutal death metal video discussing Season of Mist. Their Season of Mist lineup for brutal death metal is honestly pretty cool. Like, Cryptopsy, you know, like, a lot of good stuff. But yeah, Brodequin, Festival of Death. I forget what the 2004 one. I forget which one has Slaves to the Pyre. You know, everyone always talks about, like, the first one with, like, Instruments of Torture. I think the other one's, like, Prelude to Agony or something, like the split 7-inch. It's really cool. You always see, like, my Instagram followers always have, like, the Festival of Death on the thing as their, like, profile picture. It's, like, honestly, like, a pretty big one to do. But, yeah, if I was to throw this on... There we go, dude. Brodequin long hoodie. You're about to catch me falling asleep in this baby, man. You're swagged out. When I say make death metal street again, this is what I mean. But yeah, and then I'll put on over the shorts like I'm like a middle schooler. I don't even know how to like show off like everything. I drain it down. You drain it down a little bit. Yeah, this is my computer chair, just like a little simple. But yeah, so we got nice defeated sanity on the sides. You know, I'm swagged out. Get some Nike Air Max, like some like Megadeth member, or like Nocturnus, like just like the high top like shoes, like the basketball shoes. See, that's like, I don't know. People think like this is how like hardcore dresses, just like, you know, the sweatpants and like hoodies. This is also like brutal death metal. Like, it doesn't have to just be like Wigger Slam, like Waking the Cadaver-esque, like Dying Feet. It's just like ball cap, septum piercings, like spaced ears, Monster Energy, like deathcore, like mentality, like just like normal metalheads just wearing, you know, brutal death metal merch. Like, this is the freaking hookup, you know? Like, I don't know. Like, this is always how, like, I gravitated more towards, like, dressing than, like, the black skinny jeans type of, like, metal look. I don't know. That was always me. I don't know. I was just wear, like, sweatpants with, like, death metal. Like, you even see, like, back in the day, like, they had, like, the Cannibal Corpse, like, matching, like, sweatpants and, like, long sleeve and, like, hat. Like, that is, like, freaking cool to me, you know what I mean? But, yeah, surprisingly, really good quality. But, yeah, I really want to interview these guys. So, if you want me to interview Miscreants, definitely let me know in the comments. The album's coming out on Season of Mist. Reminiscence. I've listened to the 2 singles. I think there's 2. Might be 1. I don't know. I get that and Deceptor because I've just been listening to that and Deceptor. Kind of like, you know, like both really cool death thrash bands. You know, I don't just listen to brutal death metal. Like, it's kind of like I would love to see more of like that, like death thrash revival. Like back in like 2015 to like 2017, we were starting to get like a death thrash and like thrash metal revival. Then like the Caveman Maggot Stomp kind of took over. But now I think it would be a perfect time for more bands to just like pull a Ripping Corpse and just go to like some death thrash. My band Impure Conception has a lot of death thrash, or like brutal death thrash. So, you know, we got the best of both worlds. But yeah, Miscreants, great band. Defiled, great band for all you Japanese death metal lovers. Like Vomit Remnants, Deconformity type of people. So there's that. I would like to thank again Will and Rob from Season of Mist for allowing me to show off a lot of Season of Mist goodies. But yeah, great quality for brutal death metal on Season of Mist. You know, like I always say, Season of Mist is not really known for brutal death metal. It seems like brutal death metal in the underground is starting to make waves again, really popular. You know, death metal's kind of back. Like, you know, I feel like commercially we've seen a spike of interest in a lot of these bands, you know, especially with stuff like Sanguine Sugabog helping underground, you know, headlining tours with Lamb of God, you know, having Defeated Sanity open shows before Sanguine Sugabog, like, you know, old school death metal, like Crypt Cave death metal, kind of took a little backseat after COVID, but, you know, the bands that stayed are doing really, really well, so, you know, brutal death metal's here to stay, especially in the underground with more of the hardcore kids finding out a lot bands like Internal Bleeding and Dehumanized, you know, stuff like that, you know, Scatter Remnants and Eternal Suffering. So, you know, we are seeing a spike of, you know, people that appreciate 90s brutal death metal. So, you know, I'm all for it. You know, maybe we'll see a lot more brutal death metal on Season of Mist. You know, maybe a lot of these labels will start picking up more of the, like, you know, newer gen brutal death metal bands. But thanks again. Now I got this big box. So thanks again for the box. There was no Morbid Angel, which I appreciate. And until next time, peace out.